Well, I've just added a third brand to my woodworking shop here. I've always signed my work with my initials and the date, and I always wanted the one-eyed cat logo, but that was going to be kind of tough for me to make, and I knew that I was going to need some help with it. Now, I made the JP and the 18 myself, and I have another video on how to do that, and I'll include that in the links. That's actually pretty straightforward to do just with a Dremel tool. So this video is just about the one-eyed cat and how that came about. Jimmie, I hope you don't mind. I captured your logo from your YouTube channel to create this. I didn't add the handle because my drill/mill is broken, and I figured you could make a handle you like anyway. I hope you enjoy this brand and get many years use out of it. Well, this Out of the Clear Blue was sent to me by Gary Skurlock of Hammond, Louisiana. Gary has a Scully wooden metal, and he's been a Facebook and YouTube friend for a long time, always makes very nice comments. I was delighted to receive this, and what this is the bones for a branding iron right here. So he took my logo and scanned it somehow. I don't know all the details of it, but he was able to create a file to turn this thing on a CNC milling machine router tool. And so here's a small video of that. So this thing is a great starting point. I'm going to end up making something that's kind of like this. So I'm going to eliminate a lot of the mass of this piece here. I need to get it down in size. This little one right here takes about 30 seconds with the propane torch to get it up to temperature to where you can brand with it. So this would take a lot more propane. So I need to reduce the mass of this significantly. I'll probably turn this on the lathe and eliminate about 75% of the weight of this, and just leave the figure here, and then I'll leave a little post here that I'll drill into for a piece of 1028 all thread. And then of course I'll put a wood handle on it, and I like to have a flat base so when you're done you got this hot thing that you branded with. The wood insulates the heat from your fingers first of all, but then when you're done you have a place to set this thing, let it cool down. Wanted to see if I could bring out the detail on the whiskers here just a little bit. Gary said he had a 1/32 inch bit that he was using, so we lost a little bit of detail on this. But hey, I think this thing is perfectly usable, so I'm not even going to do that much. I'm just seeing if I can separate those whiskers a little bit, and then I needed to define the eye just a little better. But I think it's going to be great. I double nutted this all thread into my brass piece, and I can use the all thread now as an arbor to turn this. So I'm going to turn this shank down as small as I can. And I can get just a little bit more of this. So just a fussy detail, when I make these, I'll always cut a notch in the top. And the purpose of that is so that you can see what the correct orientation is when you have it turned around, because it all looks the same when you turn it upside down. So that little notch will help you figure out where the top is. Well, there it is. I've got the wooden base. I never throw away these little pieces that I turned from the lathe, and I'm glad I saved this little piece of maple. It's a perfect handle. I just center drilled it and put the all thread through there, and so it gives me thermal insulation from the heat of this, but it also gives me a place to set it down so that, you know, while it's cooling down, it isn't a safety hazard laying over sideways on anything. So let's give this thing a try. And I can tell when the metal starts turning kind of to a straw color, that's about right. And it depends on the wood that you're branding. Some wood doesn't need much time, other wood needs you to press it in there pretty good. And the color's starting to change right there, so we're good. And I'm putting it into this piece of scrap maple, smoking real nicely. And look at that, isn't that pretty? And so what you can do is when I sand these down to get some of the charring off of it. How nice. I love this. Wow. This thing turned out pretty good. Let's have a closer, ow, dang it. It's just a little joke there. I was just trying to make a point. These things are very hot and they stay hot for a long time. This was actually room temperature. I just did that to make a point. And that is when I'm done with this thing, I always set it on its base like this. So the hot part is up and I set it well up out of the way somewhere so that it can't bother anybody or anything while it's cooling down. Gary, thank you very much. So here we go. Ready? Yeah, baby. A little too much heat on this. But this is freaking awesome. I love it.